Hello everyone, hello, happy Saturday. Yes, Chocolo Roberto here for another video review, a live one. It's the Chocolo, it's the Moser Roth Just Start collection. Yeah, so after last week we did the boozy truffle selection. Yes, and very much surprised by how nice it was actually, especially considering it was an alcoholic selection and not my cup of tea generally, but it was really nice. Yeah, so very impressed with that one. So hopefully this one can keep it going really. Not only won the people's vote to get sort of to win the sort of well, basically I do a poll every week to see which one I'll do live, and this one narrowly won. It was a bit of quite closely contested with the mystery review, but it got there. So yes, this one won it. So as I say, I didn't put the actual type because I wasn't sure particularly which one I do, although I think I alluded to doing the Just Start one last week. So there we go. But yeah, hi Shime, how you doing? Yeah, hope you're doing all right. Glad you could make it. Glad you could make it. Yeah, so very quite interested, quite excited this one, but I'm just a bit worried that it might go a bit more mundane. Now, I've got when I say mundane, you've won because it was an alcoholic selection of sweets. They were quite exotic sort of ones, really, like mojitos and sort of other ones that basically amounted to really being sort of like mango, lime, and all these sort of exotic flavors, passion fruit. You know, so they were quite a good set of flavors. Now I kind of worry that these ones will just revert to type really, where it's just all the standard flavours. So we'll see. I did notice a couple of interesting ones. Let's see if I can find the. Here we go. Yes, I've done the got a little image here of it all. Here is this the. Should I grab it? There we go. So I might cover my face up with this a second. But yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so we've got quite a few good ones here. We've got salted caramel, which is perhaps a bit of a typical one really. Jaffa cake, janduja, I guess that is, which I think is just a type of chocolate essentially. Coconut. Sour cherry is interesting. Ginger biscuit, not too bad. Almond Millionaire and amaretti. So we've got a few. I got a few typical ones here. So we'll see. You know, I'm quite interested in the Jaffa cake one and the sour cherry one. I think they look quite nice. And they're clearly based on the Hotel Chocolat H boxes. These, so you can clearly see a similarity between the layout and some of the styles of the chocolate and things like this. So should be yeah. So there is that to bear in mind. Yeah, yes, the marshmallow multi. I thought you might like that one. I think you mentioned them a while back, actually, Shah. Maybe I think you did anyway. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to those. It is flavoured, of course. I thought maybe they might be might have sort of some kind of marshmallow in them, but they don't. So we'll see what it's like, what that equates to really. Because I guess marshmallow, I'm not really sure what, because it's just like a slight, maybe a slight bubble gummy type flavour. I don't really know. So yeah, we're interested to see what that really equates to. Because I think marshmallow's more about the texture, isn't it? So, so we'll see. But nonetheless, the coloured pink, so I don't know whether that means it'll be slightly strawberry flavoured or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, interesting one. So yeah, so quite, I'd say quite interesting these ones. I think, yeah, we've got two more in the selections to do as well. We've got the winter desserts ones and the milk dark and white selection as well. So I thought we'd do the dark one first because it basically means that the other ones will. I think we're kind of covering, you know, it might get slightly overlooked, I think, with the milk dark and white one and maybe the winter desserts one. So it should be quite an interesting one, I think, this one. Yeah, so let's have a look. So what I might do is I might just work round the clock really. Salted caramel, maybe there to coconut, I'm not sure. So we'll see. Let's move the wrong screen then. I should lock that really in place. You can lock these screens in place. Maybe I should do that really. Yeah, that's I should. So don't move around the screen. But yeah, anyway, yes. Okay, yeah. So let's have a look. So let's give these an open then, I think. So I've got our sellotape to the side. You can see some kind of, yeah, just on the sides there. So I'll just quickly give those a cut. Got my trusty knife. Could do a better one, I think, really, but there we go. Let's have a look. Let's have a see. Right. Okay. Yes. All right. Rested again. Yes. Oh, whatever, Sham. Yeah, well, if you can get it sorted, you can. If you can't, you can't. It's one of those. I'll just have to leave that with you, basically. But yeah, you know. Yeah, so it's one of them. But hopefully you'll get it sorted. Fingers crossed. But the comments are always there as well. So, yeah. But, right. So there we go. So right, let's give it an open. So I'm trying to, maybe I should zoom down. I think I might move the camera down a bit so you can see me open. It might be a bit easier. Let's just move it down. Okay. There we go. Right. There we go. I've got the white border and the sort of the white backer there just to help with the contrast a bit. I might just move the let's back away. Okay, so let's see. So there we go. And I think I might just lower the coloration a bit as well. have a look. Okay, there we go. Right, yeah, so there we are. So not too bad then. Very typical box, but it's got a nice little card here with all the different types in, which is quite nice. I think it does have an air of quality to this. I think, you know, I don't know, I think it does show the markup that Hotel Chocolat gets, you know, especially these are like $4.99. The equivalent Hotel Chocolat ones are sort of, you know, £12, I think. So, you know, I don't believe these are any worse for it. But yeah, see quite a nice, nice looking selection, quite different as well. So there's, let's see how many there is. There's 4, 8, 13 in the set, but there's 8 different kinds. So that does mean that, you know, there's a couple of them, 2 or 3 without duplicates, so which is a bit of a shame. So you can see these ones are duplicated. These ones, I think, yeah, this one, and well, no, this one. There's probably 3. I think these 3 actually are the ones that aren't duplicates. I think, which is a bit of a shame. So that's the ginger biscuit one, the sour cherry one, and the amaretti one. So for better or worse, they're the ones that say, oh, hang on, this, yeah, that one's, yeah. So there's a bit of a shame there with that, I think. You know, I don't know what it could do. I don't know. It's just one of those, isn't it? If your favourite one is one that's has a duplicate, then that's great. If it's not, then it's a bit of a shame, really, isn't it? So yeah, but there we go. All right. So the 3 that let's see. We'll try and maybe move these ones separately, maybe just so I can save them to the last, or so I realise I don't eat them by accident or something like that. Don't quite fit in very well when manoeuvred like that, but there we go. Let's put them to the bottom. There we go. All right. There we go. Just so I can remember them. Okay, so that's quite a nice looking selection. Yeah, not too bad at all. So yeah, so which one should we start with then, do we think? Well, as I say, maybe, yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the old screenshot. We'll just start with the salted caramel. I don't think there's any, you know, I don't know, quite like the sound of the Jaffa Cake one, sounds a bit interesting. Let's have a read of the salted caramel one anyway. What does it say? A classic soft and luscious caramel, perfectly balanced with a touch of salt. Okay, all right, let's give that one a go. Let's have a look. So it's one with a single white stripe. That's a bit of a, I'm not sure if the white stripe provides too much there. It's a little decoration all the same. Okay, let's get my equipment out. I don't know, make some space for myself. Okay, if I can. Rubbish everywhere. Right. Okay. So I've got the old measuring equipment, so I'll just give it a quick go. Why not? Why not? Possibly Shine, possibly why, yes. All to yourself today. Well, to be honest with you, sometimes it only activates when people actually chat sometimes. So there could be other people there. Some people a bit late. It's one of those, yeah. But maybe you are, yes. Oh, honestly, it's one of those. Yeah, 2.8 centimetres down to the bottom, but at the top. Yeah, I hope you're doing all right anyway, by the way. Hope you get things sorted with your brothers, not messing you about too much. 2.5. There we go, on the other side. And then, yeah, the height. There's a bit of a stripe there, so we'll avoid that. 1.5. Then with the old shenanigan, it's about 1.6, almost 1.7. So there we go. Yes, there we are. Right, okay, so let's give it a bit of a chop. Let's see, maybe cut it in half a bit. A bit weird about going down the stripe, but we'll do it all the same. A thick chocolate. A thick at the bottom as well, so you can see how thick that chocolate was. So yeah, you can see it's quite it's not a runny caramel, but it's definitely not solid. If we lent it over for a period of time, I think it would drip out. Let's try on the other side, see if it's, yeah, so you can kind of see here, yeah, you can see how runny it is there. Nice runny caramel there. So it has a well, basically, you know, smells of dark chocolate. Basically, it doesn't smell of anything specific. Seems to be alright then. But yeah, I think we need to give this one a taste. I'm not sure what the top will taste like. You know, maybe white chocolate. I'm not sure, but yeah. All right, let's lift myself up. Give it a bit of a go. Quite excited as well. As last week, I was a bit optimistic, thinking I could do 2 of these boxes in one session, but they're so big actually. They're proportional to themselves. So yeah. So there we go. I'm just adjusting the colour there. Right, let's give it a taste. I'll taste it half at once, I think. That's probably a good way to do it. So, yeah, salted caramel. Let's give it a go. Wow. It's quite it's quite a distinct one, this one actually. It's not oh, wow. It's quite a distinct salted caramel there. Not really. It's very I'd say it's actually pretty spot on. But it's quite thick though. It has a, I wouldn't say it's got a powdery texture, but it almost has. It's quite a thick salted caramel. You know, when you actually have it in your mouth, it looks quite you know, runny-ish and normal when you look at it. But actually, when you go in your mouth, it sort of goes very. It's quite thick and it's quite almost powdery, almost, but not quite. Actually, not too bad. Works quite well with the dark chocolate. I think it's actually quite salty as well. It's but not ridiculously so, but a good amount. It actually is quite a distinct salty count. I like this one. I think it's good, and I think the dark chocolate's not too strong, but strong enough. We don't think we actually checked the back, did we? Got so carried away. I didn't check the back to see what the things was. I got just with the types. Let's have a quick look before I forget. What's it say? Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate 58%. There we go. Just have milk chocolate in. It says 11%. So I guess it's not suitable for vegans. This interesting one. Obviously, does it have can't see any palm oil in there. Coconut oil. I don't think it has any palm oil in it that I can see, but of course you might see it. Yeah, but I can't see any obvious palm oil in there. An interesting one. Yeah, so 55% dark chocolate, which is 58%, which is a good amount. I think anything higher than 59, so getting to the 60s, I think it's too much for me. 100 grams, just while we're at it, 517 calories, 29.9 grams of fat, 16.9 which is saturated. So not bad on the 500 to 550 scale that typical chocolates have, or chocolate-related stuff. Chocolate bars I've seen. Lactose approximately contains 13 servings. For average chocolate, a box 12 grams, 62 calories, 3.6 grams of fat, 2 which are saturates, and it's 165 grams in total. Yeah. So 58% dark chocolate. So that's not, is that cocoa solids, or is that just actually how much is in it? Assorted dark chocolates. Oh, there, it's at the bottom. Yeah, I was reading the wrong thing. Milk chocolate contains cocoa solids 30% minimum, milk solids 20% minimum. Dark chocolate is 55%, so it is 55, yeah. I've subconsciously said that before. Which is a good amount, I'd say. Yeah, it's a good amount at all. Yeah. So not too bad. Yes. Honestly. Yeah, so not too bad at all. I think I quite like this actually. I think the dark chocolate is a good strain. I think 50 plus is about the limit really. I think when it gets over 60 it's too much for me. So obviously I realise some people might not think that. But I don't mind weak dark chocolate. Some people say it's barely dark chocolate at all, like in the 30s or something, cocoa size. But not too bad. Yeah. So I think this is quite nice actually. I quite like this. I think I think the salted caramel is pretty perfect actually. It's just as I want it to be. It's not sort of, and it tastes of caramel. It's not like this butterscotch type taste that you get in a lot of chocolate selections. The dark chocolate's good as well. It counterbalances the sweetness of the caramel. I think this is a really nice chocolate as well actually. I'm very impressed with it. Because it's still dark chocolate, but it's got the sweetness of the caramel. So, you know, you might still like it even if you're not a massive dark chocolate fan. No, I like that one. I think the only perhaps deficit to it is it's just dark chocolate and caramel. So about 4.5 out of 5. I like that one. Very nice indeed. Yeah, very nice. Nice dark chocolate as well. Yeah, I think they've got it spot on really. Yeah. Not bad at all. I quite like that. A good one there. A good one. Yes. Let me just just clean the plate. Roughly. Dark chocolate on it now. Okay. And the knife to get rid of the the caramel. Just basically got a cloth next to me, so you know. After experience of the previous lives has taught me that I need to be able to clean up after the stuff. Yeah. Very nice. That's a good start there. A good start. So I think we'll do the Jaffa cake one next. I think I'm not too bad at all, really. Are you into dark chocolate, by the way, Sham? I don't think you've ever mentioned whether you like dark chocolate or not. I know you like marshmallow, of course. I don't think you've ever mentioned whether you like dark chocolate or not. So, because all these are dark chocolate, so you know, if you're not a big fan of it, these might not be for you, but as I say, they do seem to have a sweet centre to some of them. So hopefully, they might be up your street even so. So we'll do the let's see. Yes, Jaffa cake one next. What's the blurb on this one? I've just got a fly buzzing about there. I think it was a fly. So Jaffa cake. I'll just move it to the slide to the left so I can read it. Yeah, so tangy orange truffle partnered with a decadently gooey dark chocolate ganache. Okay, interesting. So it's not really Jaffa cake. There's no cake in there. More just Jaffa. It's more just orange, basically. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Right. Let's have a look. Okay. Right. So let's have a see. So I'm going to just measure it, of course. In fact, I'll move down a bit. I'll move down. I keep forgetting to. I did used to have the other camera where I'd have one down on the thing, but I think I prefer to do it this way. I think it's just a bit more, a bit more less, maybe less convoluted. I'm not sure. So quite excited about this one, but it's not really a Jaffa cake. I think you'd immediately say there's no cake involved in it. Let's have a look. Okay, right. So there's no cake involved with it. It's basically just a sort of orange truffle partnered with dark chocolate ganache. It says so. There's no cake. So I don't really know how they can say it's Jaffa cake, All right, 2.9 in diameter at the bottom. At the top, roughly, very roughly, about 2.1. So you lose quite a lot of there. And height, there's a bit of a swirl on top, so I'll try and avoid the swirl to an extent, but it'll be quite difficult. About 2.2. With the swirl, about 2.3, 2.4. So there we go. Yeah, you're not a dark chocolate fan, Sham. Yeah, shame that. Well, as I say, I can't say, it's hard to say whether you'd like this selection at all, really. But bear in mind, it's not just dark chocolate on its own, and it's not a strong dark chocolate. So, it might be one to try if you've got some other dark chocolates. Let's say you've got like the milk white and dark selection. Just try one of the dark chocolates then. But it's difficult to justify, isn't it? Because you've got all the others to try. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I can't say for sure whether you'd like this. This one won in the end. This one got about 30 odd and the mystery review got about 20 odd in the end. Yeah, so, but they were tied. Yeah, it was very close. It was very close. Right, so I don't know what to do because when I chop this in half, it will take off the topper. So, there's a close up, by the way. It's quite nice. I think that's quite nice. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so we're up to 7 members now, by the way. So we get to 10. We'll do we'll have the old member exclusive Domino's pizza voucher. So attempt to become a member. Getting close to it. So we'll hopefully get towards the 10 lot here. So fingers crossed. Anyway, fingers crossed at some point soon. All right, let's give it a bit of a chop. There's always a thick chocolate bottom to these, so it's very hard for me to cut it. It's stuck to the knife as well. Wow, so look at that. That's really, well, I must say it looks very nice. I'm still not getting any, other than the fact that it's got orange. There's not really much, it could be anything with orange, it could be called, but I guess Jaffa cake's as good as anything. But so there's no cake in there. There's a chocolate ganache at the bottom, and a nice orange truffle. So it looks very nice, I have to say. And there's a thick base of chocolate there. Obviously there is a sort of swirl at the top as well, for what it's worth, and you can see there how thick that chocolate is. Well, that truffle is rather. Not bad at all. It looks very nice, I have to say. So while I'm a bit I think if it was Jaffa cake, if they did have a cake layer in there, I think that would be, well, I don't know if it would be better or not, but it would be more interesting. I think I'd definitely be more interested in it. But it still looks very nice, and it's not to say I'm not interested in it. Okay, let's lift myself up and give it a taste. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So very, very simple. I'll try and put a bit of the old sort of swirl in it as well when I eat it, so we'll taste that as well. But yeah, let's give it a go. Yeah, I'm quite excited about this one. It's not a bad orange flavour actually. It's not really an orange truffle. It says orange truffle. It's more like just an orange cream. And it's quite a distinct cream as well. It's not anything like Quality Street or Roses or anything like that. It's quite subtle. It doesn't really taste like fries, orange creams. It's a bit weaker than perhaps the Quality Street orange cream, basically. He's got the semblance of the same kind of taste, but it's weaker. Which I think is probably not too bad. Because for me, the orange one in Quality Street tastes a bit like orange flavoured Calpol, a children's cough medicine. Quite a nice thick dark chocolate as well, but again it's balanced quite well with the orange cream and the well, the ganache could individually taste, to be honest with you. It just blends in with the rest of it. It's quite difficult to lift off. I've got it here. A bit of orange with it, but let's just give it a go. Not bad. I think, all in all, that's not bad actually. Again, it's not Jaffa cake, I think that's the problem with it. I don't know whether it'd be better if they'd put a bit of cake or biscuity in the bottom, something to make it a bit more Jaffa cake like. Yeah, so it's one of those. Interesting one. I don't know what to say. I think it's just this. Well, I don't know what to say, but I don't know what to think about the fact that it's not a Jaffa cake. Really, I think that's a problem really with that. And I think it's, I guess I was getting attacked by a fly then. Yeah, I think it's the problem with it is that it's a bit. I don't know. It's not really much of an orange taste, but it's quite nice. It's got the dark chocolate in it and the ganache at the bottom, and I think they work quite well together. So it's not really sort of, massively flavoured. To one specific thing like orange, for instance, which you might think it is. It's actually quite balanced quite well. But as a result of that, it doesn't really shine in any particular area. It's distinctly orange. It's not bad. I think it just feels a bit like it's missing something. And I feel like it would work better if it had like a sort of, as I say, if it did make more of an attempt at a Jaffa cake. But I mean, even if it's just like a little biscuit bit in the centre, I think that would raise it by half a mark. But as it is, I still think it's really good. As I say, it just works quite well. It's not overly strong dark chocolate. It just works quite well together. So I think for me, it's a 4 out of 5. I quite like that one. I mean, it's quite a good attempt. It's just not really Jaffa cake, basically. I'm just trying to clear off that orange truffle from the knife. It's just not really Jaffa cake, and I think that probably has hurt it a bit because it's not got enough in it to make it that exciting, really. So yeah. So there we are. Yes. Yeah, I know, I've done loads of stash watches. Yes, done loads of them, Sham. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's crazy, really. Yeah, can't believe how many I've done, to be honest with you, but it's just been going on that long. Oh, yeah. No, it's good, really. It's good to keep them going as well. Right, let's see. Okay. Right, so yes, the next one. Yeah, so quite all right, that one, though. It felt like I was a bit negative on that Jaffa cake one, but it was... yeah, I don't know. It was just, as I say, it just didn't quite have enough of a wow factor with it or anything individual about it. So, yeah. So one of those. So I think we'll now go to the Gianduja. I think that's how you spell it. I assume it's possibly Italian. Yeah, so I think GI in Italian tends to be the letter J in English, as far as I know. So I think, it might not be Italian at all. A smooth, silky, delicious milk chocolate centre with roasted hazelnut praline truffles. So it is going down the old typical praline route. So we'll see. Not too excited about it, but it's quite a substantial one, this one. It's a bit, it is quite chunky. Yeah, looks alright. I think the pattern's a bit more effective on this one. It's quite big. The other one, I don't know. It'd be nice if it was a different colour, maybe. But then I don't know what colour they could do. What is it? It's flavour nut, was it? Hazelnut, yeah. Alright, I'm not too sure. They could have perhaps even just put a hazelnut on top of it, or a chopped hazelnut, a bit of hazelnut or something. But maybe that's a bit too typical. Maybe it's not quite trendy enough for these days. Alright, let's move ourselves down. Give it a go. The old Moser Rooney. So what though, so far so good. I am quite impressed with these, and I think they're quite distinct as well. Okay. Right, let's see. I'll just move the that away, I think. There we go. Right, let's give it a bit of a measure. So I'll measure it at the bottom and the top. Let me just check. Yeah, okay, 0. Or -0. All right, let's have a see. So about 2.8 centimetres at the bottom. And at the top, roughly about 2.6. And the height about 1.5. You can see that if it focuses in. Oh, it's focused in on. If it's not focused on that, it's nothing else to focus on. But yeah. About 1.5. I think you could make that out. Just about. Yeah. Okay, it's in millimeters. That's why. But with the flourish on the top, about 1.7. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Right, I'll just check the. Let's have a look. Adjust the brightness accordingly. There we go. Right. Okay, let's give this a chop then. So yeah, it's a bit of a. This one seems a bit typical. This one, so I'm a bit unsure what to make of this, but we'll see. But they all have a very thick chocolate base, so they're always quite difficult to cut at the bottom. For better watch, you can see how thick the bottom is on these ones. Yeah. You can see, I mean, it's perhaps a bit too thick, I think you'd say. It seems to have gone a bit too much. I feel like you can see the slant in it. Maybe that's part of what makes these a slightly cheaper chocolate than Hotel Chocolat or something. The fact that the qualities control may be slightly off insofar as the quantities and things like that, the way that that's a bit sloshed like that. You can see clearly it's, you know, it's too thick on one side. Maybe it's, I don't know, been at a slant or something when it was, you know, when it was done. I don't know, I can't think why the chocolate would slant like that. Unless it wasn't straight when it was setting, you know, I'm not sure, no expert on it, but there we go. But yeah, because it's a bit of a truffle, it's quite a solid truffle. You know, I can touch it, it's not really coming away. It's obviously soft, you know, I could poke it and things. But yeah, alright, well, you know, as I say, quite a lot of dark chocolate in this one. I think that's going to be the predominant taste, but that's, you know, it is a dark chocolate selection, so is that a bad thing? Okay, let's lift myself up. Oh, that was quite nice, yeah. So yes, very interesting one there. I think, as I say, that might be the sign of where the savings are made. The fact that they, as I say, it's I don't know. I don't remember seeing any sort of, I wouldn't say defective, but any oddly shaped or sort of seemingly wrongly shaped, wrongly proportioned Hotel Chocolat ones whenever I've done those. I haven't done 100 of those reviews or anything, but you know. But there you can clearly see that there's a distinct slope on there. Yeah, so there we are. The chocolate's very thick. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, let's give it a go. Yeah. Let's say hazelnut praline. So I think this will be pretty much a mundane one, but we'll see. Let's give it a go. Yeah. It's a bit more typical, this one. It's the kind of chocolate you get in most chocolate selections. I would say, though, that the dark chocolate, again, being quite thick and quite prominent and a good percentage, cocoa solids, it still works quite well. And I think the fact that there is actually less or fewer or whatever you'd say, well, less really, less sort of praline centre has actually worked for me, because I think otherwise it'd just be a bit too much of it. And I think the dark chocolate's actually a nicer taste. It's a bit too typical, this one. It's like, you know, you're making a chocolate selection, you're ticking some boxes about what to include, and I think, you know, a sort of praline of some kind, hazelnut or whatever, is probably one of them you'd have. But I think for me, you know, it's nice, and I'd probably, you know, whether it's better than, I think I'd probably just prefer a solid dark chocolate, really. You know, but if you like hazelnut pralines, obviously this one's for you. But for me, it's very typical, very, very mundane, very boring a flavour. You know, especially compared to last week where we had all these wild flavours and things. This one's definitely back onto the traditional, normal chocolate selection, but it's quite nice, all things considered, because it's got quite a nice chocolate base and there's quite a lot of chocolate in it. You can see how thick the chocolate is. I think the hazelnut praline for me just only detracts from it. Yeah, it's certainly, you know, a pretty boring flavour. I think it's not unpleasant or anything, it's just not very exciting. It tastes a bit like, it's not a million miles away from, say, the taste of a Ferrero Rocher, but doesn't have any of the texture or anything like that, or any of the chopped hazelnuts or the whole hazelnut or anything, or the cream. Well, the cream sort of, but it's not quite the same. It just has more of the taste than anything else, and the consistency of it's nothing too special. It's okay. I think for me, what makes it a bit better than normal is the thick dark chocolate, actually, and I think I might be giving it a 3 out of 5 other than that. But I think the fact that the dark chocolate's so thick, And I think it'd still be quite thick even if it wasn't slanted like that, because they do have quite a thick base. Anyway, these chocolates. But bearing in mind that it might not be a typical thing, I think I probably will err on the side of caution and give it a 3 out of 5. That one, yeah. So it's a bit of a standard one. That one, you know, it's a chocolate selection. What have we got in it? We've got to have a hazelnut praline. That's what that one is. It's ticked the box. It's there. They've got so much more exciting chocolates that they could have put in there than that. I already know this. From the other selection, which were a lot of them were dark chocolates, I believe, or they could have made it dark chocolate. So yeah, so a bit of a disappointing on that one. But you know, it is what it is. That one, that phrase was pretty much made for that chocolate. So there we go. All right, I'll just clean off the knife again. See? Okay. Just all right, there we go. Okay, I got chocolate crumbs everywhere as well, so just to get rid of those a bit. Yeah. There we are. All right, not bad. So it won't be a massively clean plate, but it'll be cleaner. Clean enough. Okay. Right, so what have we got next then? Let's have a see. Yeah, so we did the Janduja there, which was all right. Then I've got the coconut one next now. Light white chocolate and coconut mousse, laid with silky milk chocolate and crispy biscuit. Okay, that sounds very interesting, doesn't it? That sounds a bit more like it. That does sound a bit more like it, actually. Let's have a see. Yeah, so light white chocolate and coconut mousse. Yeah, so is that just a praline again, a mousse? I don't know. But here we go. Let's see. I'll move that a bit. Yeah, you can see it looks very much like it does in the picture. It's in the Moser Roth logo under there as well. Yeah, not too bad. Let's zoom down a bit. Okay. Right. Yeah, so I'm quite excited for this one. I think this one sounds pretty good, actually, to be honest with you. Let's give it the old measure anyway. Let's see what happens. Okay. About 2.8, 2.9, I think you'd say, down to the bottom, but at the top, roughly about 2.2, maybe 2.3, but 2.2, I think. And height without the flourish, 2.2. Right, with it, probably a good couple of millimeters more, maybe. It's not quite the same height, but we'll do it with the taller one. 2.4, yeah. So there we go. Yeah. Not bad. Right, let's give it a cut then. As I say, so what we're expecting this one, it sounded very, as I say, light white chocolate and coconut mousse. They were silky milk chocolate and silky. It's got milk chocolate in this one. So what do you make of that? That seems a bit odd in a dark chocolate collection. I mean, I guess, you know, but I don't think I'd be expecting that in a dark chocolate collection, and I think that might be a bit rubbish. That really. All right. Yeah, so I'm not too sure what to make of that. Birthday next week, Sharon. Oh, very nice. Yes, you're doing anything nice for it. Oh, I hope you have a good. Hope you got something good planned for it. But either way, I hope you have a nice day as well. Let's give it a bit of a chop. Oh, very soft, and again a thick bottom. It's really hard to cut. Knife's not the sharpest in the world. Yes. Oh, that's very nice, Sharon. Oh, well, I hope it's well. I hope you enjoy it, and hope you have a lovely day all round as well. So yeah. Oh, very nice, very nice. I hope you have a great day for that. Yeah, let's have a see. So if it's focusing, have I reduced the brightness a bit? It's a bit bright, that. Let's have a check. Haven't I just reduced it a bit? There we go. Look at that. So this one looks very interesting. Now this is kind of when I'm always saying a lot of it don't have much included. So when you consider this one's got lots of stuff here, so it has a milk chocolate sort of, you know, topper, I guess you'd say, and the sort of the coconut in the middle. Quite a thick base of dark chocolate again. That might be where they're saving a bit of money. So what does it say it is again? Let's just have a look. Yeah, so light white chocolate. Oh, there we go. Coconut mousse. They were silky milk chocolate and crispy biscuit. So I do feel a bit like this is a milk dark and white one rather than the dark chocolate one, because it's got milk chocolate, white chocolate, and dark chocolate. So it's not really, shouldn't really be in this set. Basically, it shouldn't really be in it. Hi Joe, how are you doing? Oh, good you can make it. I thought you might turn up. Yeah. Oh, great to see you. Hope you're doing all right. Did things go all right yesterday, by the way? I know you had to leave quite early. I hope it went okay. Yeah, so you missed a couple, basically. Long story short is they're nice. We're on to the coconut one, so the fourth one in. Salted caramel Jaffa cake, gianduja, and coconut. Is gianduja Italian, Joe, by the way? I know you might be aware of that. And coconut. And obviously not Italian, but I just know that you're aware of things. Yeah, I think this one looks quite exciting, but the only problem I was saying is it's a dark chocolate selection. It's got white and milk chocolate in it. It's got white chocolate, coconut centre, which does sound nice, and milk chocolate one. But then it's a dark chocolate selection, so why has it got white and milk chocolate in a dark chocolate selection? And you can see a light white chocolate and coconut mousse laid with silky milk chocolate and crispy biscuit. So I feel like it's out of place, this one. As nice as it sounds, I don't feel like it should be in the selection. So there we go. So not too bad. Yeah, not too bad at all. Okay, so let's lift myself up. Might give this one a taste, but yeah, I hope you're doing all right. Hi, Andrew. Hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing all right, Andrew. How's your day going? Are you doing all right? Let me just, hopefully I'll... Can't find the properties thing. I think I opened it, but I can't see it. Oh, there we go. Right, there we are. Okay. Oh, and hi there, QP. I see you perhaps lurking about. Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right, QP. Great to see you, by the way. Oh. Yes. Bit of a contrast with the truffle. Yes. Basically, they're all quite thick-based, Andrew. They're all quite thick-based. That's, I don't know what to make of that, really. I think you might argue that's where they're saving money on it. I'm not sure, but I think, yeah, so far I quite enjoyed them. They had a praline one in so far, and it was very mundane, basically. It was just a hazelnut praline, so it's what you'd expect. The Jaffa cake wasn't Jaffa cake, it was just orange, but it was still nice. The salted caramel was very nice, actually. I really like that one. And this one we're about to try, so let's have a look. Oh, good to hear, Joe. Glad you're doing all right. Glad you're doing okay. I hope work's going well. Oh, let's give this one a go. I feel like this one definitely is possibly not suited to this selection, but a distinct coconut taste, actually. It's not the consistency, it's just the taste. You're not getting any bits of coconut. You're getting crunchy biscuit pieces as well. I can't really taste the milk chocolate, but it probably is there. The dark chocolate's tempered a bit by the fact that there is so much sort of creaminess going on in it, which I don't know whether that's defeating the point of it being there. I wouldn't say it was too strong a dark chocolate to need that, but obviously, to this extent. Let's see. Yeah, mundanity, yes. Well, in chocolate selections, it's not what you want, is it? They're meant to be special, really. They shouldn't be... I know they're ticking boxes and things, but I was a bit worried about this selection generally. I was worried that it might just revert to type, just having all the typical stuff going on. And that was my worry about it. And, and it did with that gianduja one, or gianduja, however you pronounce it. Yes, it's one of those... Yeah, you're not quite sure either, Joe. Yeah, I did look it up once. I did look it up, and I completely forgot. But the J I use is Italian, isn't it, for J, basically, usually. But who knows? I have no idea. I might have said that last time and been wrong as well. That rings a bell, so... I think this one's okay. I think it's definitely got the coconut taste. I quite like the crunchy bits to it, but I do question... this is a dark chocolate selection, but it's got white chocolate, milk chocolate, and dark chocolate in it. And I definitely would say that they... overrule, or as I say, or sort of, or temper, if you want to say that, really, the dark chocolate. And and I have to say, I think if you're in the dark chocolate selection, that's not what you want, really. It's all right, this one. It's got... I don't think it's as good as it sounds, because if you look at the description, it's saying sort of white chocolate and coconut mousse laid with milk chocolate and crispy biscuit. It doesn't really seem to have as much... Even though it does have all those things, it doesn't really come across as having as much as content as you'd think. It doesn't feel like it's got that much substance to it. So yeah, I'm not too convinced by this one. Although I think it's nice, and I think it definitely stands out. I think it's in the wrong selection. I think it's a milk white and dark selection, this one, for sure. The fact that it's got the 3 chocolates in anyway. And I think it detracts from the dark chocolate as well. So I'm going to bear that in mind in my result. And I think it's all right. Yeah, well, or can I bear that in mind? I don't really know. I think generally it's okay. I think it's probably a 3.5 out of 5. But I think it's, yeah, I'm not going to deduct it half a mark because it's not really a dark chocolate one, but just bear that in mind. It shouldn't be in this set, basically. It really shouldn't. It's just not suited to the set at all. Nonetheless, it's okay, and if you like coconut, it's definitely for you. And it comes across all right. It's just nothing. It's just not as special as it could be, I don't think. Even the biscuit pieces are all right, but nothing too dramatic. I think it's a 3.5 out of 5, basically. I think is the gist of it. Yeah. Yeah, Gianduja is Italian. It's for hazelnut chocolate spread. Yeah, that was right. That rings a bell now, Andrew. I remember looking it up before. Yes. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Andrew. Yes. Get big blocks of it. Crikey. Yeah, see. Yeah, I remember looking at it. I just couldn't remember at all. I remember looking on Wikipedia or something like that. Yeah, and I remember it being about that description. Just, yeah, basically is pretty much what I remember reading. Yes, there we go. Yeah, great stuff, great stuff. Yeah, well, interesting one. But yeah, that one, coconut one, shouldn't be in this selection really. So I think that's a real shame, to be honest with you. So yeah, bit of a shame, that one. Bit of a shame. All right, we'll move on to the sour cherry now. And I'm quite excited about this one. I think this one looks pretty good. I think you should enjoy the winter desserts one. Yeah, I hope so. I'm quite looking forward to that. I'm quite looking forward to the milk dark and white one. I'm just a bit worried that, yeah, the winter desserts one, I think, will definitely be, I'm assuming, I've tried to avoid looking at the back of it, but I reckon that it'll be quite interesting because it'll have interesting flavours in. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Even this one's not too bad on its flavours. I mean, you've got some quite interesting ones. There's not, the salted caramel one was pretty distinct, and it's not just caramel, and it wasn't just a butterscotch one. There's some mundane ones, but you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. Yes. Right, okay. Yeah, Sharon, just stop being basically just chat normally is the gist of it, and don't cause any bother, and then that won't happen. Okay, so it's quite simple. You know, we've spoke about this before, so honestly, just talk about chocolate and that's it. Okay, right. Okay, so let's have a see. Right, so where were we up to? Sour cherry. Okay, yeah, it looks quite an interesting one, but pretty much the same as the Jaffa Cake one. Yeah, looks all right. Now, I'm quite interested in this one. I don't know whether it's actually a whole cherry in it or not. Let's have a look. What does it say on the description? I'll just move it over a slide so I can read it myself. Zingy and fruity cherry flavoured chocolate truffle coated with dark chocolate. Not too bad. Yeah, okay. So it's another truffle one, but you know, yeah, the truffle ones in this one seem to be creams rather than truffles, to be honest, for the most part. Obviously, the Gianduja one was actually a truffle. Or did it call it a truffle? Yeah, but the others have seemed to be quite creamy, so you know, we'll see. So they've been a bit better than just truffles, basically. So yeah, so quite interesting this one. Let's move myself down. The plate's a bit chocolatey at the moment, so I do apologise for that, but there we go. Yeah, so far though, I definitely think these have got. I don't think you'd be I mean, unfortunately, Hotel Chocolate's got the branding, so there is that problem. But I don't think, from a taste point of view, you would be disappointed at getting these as a gift from someone. I think, unfortunately, you just don't have the prestige that Hotel Chocolat does. But taste-wise, I think it's got, you know, yeah, it is definitely on a par. I would just say though that the chocolate's very thick, and I think, I don't know whether it's cheaper to do that or not, but I would say that is something that maybe, you know, for me it's not a bad thing, but you know, it's one of those to bear in mind, I think. Okay, right, so we've got 2.9 centimeters in diameter at the bottom. All right, and at the top, probably the same as your one, really, just about 2 centimeters. There we go. Yeah, so it doesn't, definitely not as wide. Then the height, difficult, of course. It's got the swirl on the top. 2.2 roughly, maybe a bit higher. What's everyone doing tonight, buddy? Anyone got any good plans for Saturday? Hope you're having a nice day. Whatever you're getting up to. 2.4. Yeah, so can't believe yeah, It goes so quickly a time at the moment. Honestly, it really is. Nearly Halloween, really. Let's start thinking about that. You know, not barely stop thinking about the last Halloween. Really, it's gone that quick. Well, maybe not that much, but you know, let's give it a bit of a chop. So let's see if it's got the thick bottom again. You can see it's always quite difficult for me to chop. In quite a luscious colour, a bit too dark, I think you might say. In this case, it maybe could have been a bit lighter. It looks a bit like the the cherry ripe one that we did, which I guess is consistent, but don't know, it's not my favourite looking colour, that, but I guess it's cherry and everything rather than raspberry or strawberry. Yeah, it's all right. Quite a thick bottom again, but maybe not quite as thick. But you can see again, it's slightly slanted, maybe. So again, it does tell you that maybe the quality is not quite there and could make it consistent. Certainly thick chocolate. But they don't collapse when I've chopped them. You know, you might think that they collapse, but yeah. But that's something with these. Definitely thick chocolate. Overall, looks all right. Let's see then. So cherry. I'm quite. This one's one quite looking forward to. And again, when you see lots of chocolate selections, they don't even have. You know, they might have a raspberry one if you're lucky. But they don't generally have like a cherry one or anything too exotic. You know what I mean? So it's quite nice that they've got this. I'll put one of the bit of the topper on as well. Give it a taste. Okay, let's give it a go. Let's give it a taste. Let's do it. This is not bad at all. I mean, cherry and dark chocolate really work well together. It is a very zingy cherry taste as well. Did it say zingy on it? It did say zingy, yeah. It does live up to that. Yeah, very nice this one actually. It's a very nice cherry taste. Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's very nice. Yeah, so much I think I'll have the other bit. Perhaps the chocolate again is too thick, but I don't know. It swings around about that one. The cherry is quite strong, quite zingy, so maybe having any more would be too much. So, I think that's a nice cherry flavour as well. It's very nice, very distinctly cherry, very zingy. As I say, it's quite, as I say, tart. It's nice. I like that one. It's another really nice one. You could argue that maybe, I don't know. Well, again, it's not a truffle, which is the other thing I did mention before, and it's not a truffle, it's a cream. It really isn't a truffle, that. I mean, you could argue, where does a truffle end and a cream begin or whatever, but it's more on the cream side for me, for sure. If you had this in another chocolate selection, it was called cherry cream, you would accept that and not think it was a truffle. Yeah, so, not too bad. I think it's one of those. I think this is actually really nice. Yeah, I think it's really nice. I'm just thinking that it's not quite got the X factor in that perhaps you might expect, but then I don't know what it could really have, really. So for me, it's really nice, you know, and I do like it. It's a low 4. It's a low 4.5, a high 4, really. I think for me, and I think I might give it the benefit of the doubt. I think maybe the chocolate's too thick, but if it wasn't, maybe it'd be too strong a cherry taste. So. And I like that cherry taste, and I think it's a good one. I think I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. 4.5 out of 5. Not bad that one. Not bad at all. It's got rid of without any fanfare, really. Yeah, just what was this one? Sorry. Terry's All Gold Dark. Yeah, not too bad. Yes, it's a shame. I don't know if it's a bit of an odd one. If they got rid of All Gold completely, All Gold Dark. I can't remember if I've seen that for a while either. But yeah, it's a shame, that one. Terry's was a good selection, really. Yeah. But maybe, Andrew, they've done that so they can concentrate on the other things, you know, all the other stuff they've done. So that could be it. Yes, that might be it. Might be it. Yeah. So one of those. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's a bit of a shame. But maybe, as I say, they've just concentrated on the chocolate orange range now. Maybe that's what they've done it for, which is a bit of a shame. But at least they are doing something as a result of, you know, maybe cancelling that set or whatnot. So there is that. So, but it is a shame, as you say. Now I'm going to play devil's advocate with Sham's message there and say that he might have been typing that just to see if he wasn't in timeout anymore. I have a feeling that probably wasn't the case. But there is a chance. So there is a chance. So he might have just been trying to get back in to see whether he could chat again. But I think just send normal stuff, Sham, and I think you'll be fine, is the gist of it. You just comment nicely and normally. I think it'll be all right. But otherwise, that would kind of keep happening, really. Okay, right, it's not bad. So as I say, in this selection, the problem with it was that there was 3 of them that only had 1 in. I might have had one of them, actually. Which one was it? Yeah, I think it's the sour cherry, unfortunately, only has 1 of them in it. So that's a problem, really. You know, so the sour cherry, the ginger biscuit one, and which one is it? Which one is that one? This one here, whichever one this one is. I can't see it on the selection there, in the top right-hand corner. Oh, is it? I don't know which one that one is. Where's the booklet? I've lost the booklet. Here it is. That's strange. I don't actually know where. Oh, there we go. It's upside down. Okay, it was upside down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was the So the amaretti one as well has only got 1 in. So that's a bit of a shame, that. So all the others have got 2. So that's a bit of a shame, that one. So we'll try the ginger biscuit one. This has only got 1 of them in. Yeah. So what do you make of that then, Andrew? What do you think? Do you think is it worth it, the fact that they're concentrating on doing the other stuff, the white chocolate oranges and things like this? Is that a good trade-off to be had? If it means getting rid of some of the other products, because I have to concede now that it doesn't feel like Terry's anymore. Terry's All Gold and stuff like that. They feel very much a different company now. They're doing that kind of thing, for better or worse. Yeah, ginger biscuit. So it looks quite, it doesn't look anything special. It doesn't look any gingery to me. If you asked me what that was, I don't think I would say ginger biscuit. Considering it's quite an interesting flavour. I mean, I know the salted caramel one wasn't too different, but even so, I feel like that's a bit mundane. But there we are. Let's zoom down a bit now and have a look. Okay. Now, did I not adjust the brightness there? All right, there we go. All right, a bit darker, you might say, but it'll probably get lighter in a minute. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, it's about right, really. Quite dark there. I think that's about right what it looks like. Okay, so at the bottom, again, it's the same thing, 2.8 at the bottom. A bit difficult to do at the top, but about 2.2. And the height, 2.2 again with height. With the swirl, 2.5, I think. Oh no, maybe a bit less, 2.3. Not bad. So yeah, so we'll see what this one's like. So what's the description? And I think I glossed over that slightly. Ginger biscuit. Warming stem ginger pieces mixed with smooth milk chocolate encased in a rich dark chocolate shell. So again, it's got milk chocolate in it. I'm not sure what to make of this. I think that's definitely, I don't know. I don't know if it's I don't know. I mean, can you have milk chocolate in a dark chocolate selection? I don't know really. That's a difficult one. I would have said no, really, for me. I would have said if it's got milk and dark chocolate in it, that belongs in the milk dark and white selection, or just a normal selection. I think dark chocolates, people, I would say, are expecting just dark chocolate and not milk chocolate at all. So that's definitely a problem with this set, I think. I would say this is the second one now that's had milk chocolate in it. And I don't think they really add to it either. It just detracts from the dark chocolate taste, which is what you'd expect it to do in the milk dark, well, a normal selection. That's what the point of it would be normally. But in a dark chocolate selection, that's not what you want. So, okay, let's give it a chop. And again, the thick bottom. And you can see how thick the base is. It is quite thick. It's not, you're not meant to chop them with a knife, of course, but yeah, it was a very strong ginger smell. Well, relatively strong. You can smell it. Okay, so yeah. Alright, so it looks very much like a truffle, this one, I think you'd say. But obviously flavoured ginger means it's a bit different than normal. It says it's with smooth milk chocolate encased in rich dark chocolate shell. So smooth milk chocolate truffle, I guess. But you can see the bits of ginger there. Can you see that? You can see there's like a big bit of ginger in it. Poke it out. It's quite hard to poke it. Is that it there? Quite a big piece anyway. I think it is. Yeah. If you can quite make it out, it looks like it's just truffle, but big bit of ginger there. Alright, so yeah, it should be an interesting one. Again, not sure what to make of this one, but we shall see. Okay, right. So let's just adjust the brightness. Yes, it actually contains ginger, which is pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's a good point that actually, Joe. Something I perhaps didn't really emphasize or pick up on, really. The fact, yes, it does actually contain ginger, and it's quite decent amounts of it as well. Maybe too much, who knows? But yeah, but it is good. It is good. It actually does contain it, and you would say if they were going to cost cut, that would be somewhere. So there we go. All right, let's give it a go. See what it's like. Definitely crunchy bits in there. Similar to the crunchy bits in the coconut one. I think it's quite gingery. Obviously, ginger works well with dark chocolate, but I would definitely say that the dark chocolate, the milk chocolate centre, really doesn't work with it at all. It really doesn't. It's just adding a. It's not that it's milk chocolate. It's just that it's a creamy truffle. Essentially, and it doesn't work with it at all. It really doesn't. I don't know why that is. I just don't feel like it does at all. So this is one that's a bit of a. It's still nice. It's got it's got really, relative, strong enough ginger taste to it. It's got nice crunchy bits in there as well. But I think it's just doesn't. It's just this truffle just doesn't work with it at all. Yeah, you wonder if it's an artificial flavour. Yes. No, it's well. It probably does have some ginger flavouring, I imagine, probably. but definitely, I don't know. It's hard to say for sure, but yeah, there's definitely chunks of ginger in there. There's little crunchy bits which aren't the ginger bits. There's very small little crunchy bits that are very similar to the coconut one. I think it was the coconut one anyway. Yeah, not bad at all, this one. But as I say, unfortunately, just really that sort of milk chocolate truffle just doesn't work with it at all. Yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know I'm not sure. It just shouldn't be there, really. And I don't think it belongs in the set again, having that sort of milk chocolate centre. It's not bad, though. Very thick chocolate base. I think generally it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's probably done for the wrong reasons, really. I think it probably is done to save a bit of cash, maybe. I'm not sure. I assume it's more expensive to the centres than the actual dark chocolates around. But I don't know for sure about that. But you would have thought so, considering all the chocolates have dark chocolates in it. It's just a standard thing, isn't it? It's easier for that part, you would have said. Yeah, I think for me, let's just taste the top bit. Yeah, a bit of a sort of white chocolatey sort of taste, I guess. I'm not really sure, just taste of something. Not really of ginger, anything like that. So it's one of those, really. I think, let's see, I think for me, it's just, it should be better than it is. I think if it was like a solid dark chocolate, I think, it would be, I don't know, not solid dark chocolate, but if it was something a bit more dark chocolatey, I think it would be better. I think it's quite nice, it's got the ginger side to it, and I think it's quite nice, it's got the crispy bits to it. I just think it's really deducted by, yeah. I think it's got the ginger taste to it. I'm not sure. I think 3.5 might be too much. I don't know. I just feel like I think this one really is, what's the word? Lessened by the milk chocolate style truffle in it. It's a truffle for it, really. So I'm just going to give it a 3 out of 5. I think I was tempted to give it 3.5, but I think a 3 out of 5 is where it's at, really. Yeah, so there we go. One of those. Yes. Yeah, I think any more yes, any more distinctly just trolling behaviour, Sham. I think you clearly, so I think that's got to be the last straw now, to be honest with you. We know you have multiple accounts, so unfortunately we might have to, take action more than once, but clearly just no more purposeful trolling, please. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, so not bad. The red one, I think the red one was very good, QP. Very, very happy with that one. The red one and the salted caramel one, even though it sounds boring, was actually really nice because it was a distinct caramel taste. and it was quite thick as well, and it wasn't like a butterscotchy caramel, which a lot of chocolate selections have, which is a very mundane caramel in my eyes, a bit too runny. The salted caramel was actually very good. These ones are very much when they're not cheating and have white chocolate and milk chocolate in, which some of them have. Only a couple though, the coconut and the ginger one. They're actually really quite good at conveying dark chocolate, because it's not too strong a dark chocolate. It's 55%, and that to me is the sweet spot, really, I think. They're a pretty good set, really, and it's quite a thick dark chocolate, which I think some would argue is, again, cost saving, but for me, I think works quite well. And again, with the sour cherry one, it works pretty good, because it was if you had more of the cherry scent, I think it would be too much. So it's not bad at all, actually. I've been quite impressed. But I'll say I just don't understand why they've got these milk chocolate ones and white chocolate ones in a dark chocolate set. Bearing in mind there is a milk dark and white chocolate set, which is where you'd expect those to be. So yeah, an odd one, really. An odd one. Yeah. What's the poll like, by the way, so far? Let's have a look. Let's have a see. Yeah, 5 votes. Ooh, let's see. Well, Biscuit. Well, I think that's poor. I thought Biscuit might win, to be honest with you. Scone, no, Scone's not getting anything. Yeah. Well, I thought that might lose as well. But slice of cake and biscuit. I think a slice of cake isn't bad, actually. I think it's not as typical though. But there's definitely something to be said about having a nice cup of tea and a slice of cake. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's quite nice, actually. Nice combination. Yeah. Okay. And then what's the next one then we've got? Getting quite through these quite well, really. Not too bad. Almond Millionaire. To be honest with you, just going off on not a tangent, but I would say that, as I say, these selections are worth trying for £5. I would say they feel pretty upmarket, and they feel distinct, and they've got some good flavours in. So they've got three things there. Three things there that are actually pretty distinct there. Hi Rick, how are you doing? Oh, great to see you again. Great to see you. Yeah, unfortunately you missed yesterday's unboxing. You would have been, I don't know if you watched it in retrospect, but basically there was a lot of stuff that was, I think you would have liked. Maybe worth you going back and watching that if you can, but there's definitely stuff for you there. Definitely stuff for you. But good to see you again, Rick. Good to see you. Hope you're doing okay. So got 2 more to do, basically, but this selection, yes, is a good selection, basically. I definitely think, I think it's worth checking out these selections. When you consider you could get some, milk tray or something along those lines, maybe even the Thornton's one, or maybe even the Lindt selection, I would say that they're definitely not better. I've had to say they're worse than these selections, basically. I just think these are more exciting. They've got more going on with them. I think this one's not as good as, I think bizarrely the truffle, the alcohol one last week was actually very good. But again, there's all the stuff about whether it's got alcohol in it or not, or tastes like it's got alcohol in it. Is possibly the problem there. But for me, it was so much more exciting. Wasn't too bad at all. But I hope you're doing all right, Rick. Yeah, yes, as I say, the box opening yesterday had lots of stuff I think you would have liked. So go check that out if you can. Anyway, but long story short is, there was some Canadian goodness in there. Let's try the Almond Millionaire now. I'm a bit worried about this one. I feel like this might be a bit of a mundane one, but let's just see what the description says. Salted caramel with a layer of chocolate almond truffle, hand finished with shortbread biscuits. Well, the shortbread, this one is a direct copy almost of a Hotel Chocolat one as far as the shortbread biscuits on top are. I'm sure I've seen that before, at least maybe in a is it Lily O'Brien's set or something like that? I think it's very much seen this before, basically, this chocolate. But the Moser Roth salted caramel has been very nice in the other chocolate, so I'm optimistic. Possibly, Rick, possibly. Yeah, I think there was, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was there, yes. Unfortunately, you might have missed that one, but it's a shame, really. But yeah, it's one of those where I thought, one of those, but never mind. But hopefully I'll get that reviewed soon. I don't think I'll be doing it this weekend, but maybe next weekend, maybe next week. I'm going to try and do a broad selection of reviews. So I do that anyway, I guess. But what I mean is some of the newer stuff, maybe some of the imported stuff, some of the older stuff, like over the week. And actually, because of the way that sort of the way the tier list now, the way I'm doing the Friday live, it actually has given me an extra day to do stuff, because that live one when I was recording it usually took a couple of days generally. So I've got a bit of extra time now. Yeah, so there we go. Yes. It'll put these ones to shame. Oh, see, well, it's interesting. I'm looking for it. I've never had anything like it. It looks quite an interesting one for sure. Oh, so it will be interesting, yeah. I mean, it does look an interesting one. Hopefully I'll like it. I mean, you know, it's one of those, isn't it? But yeah, there we go. Right, okay. Right. So let's see. Right, so let's have a look. So yeah, nice design on the bottom of this one. Bit of a mountain range. Let's give it a bit of a chop. Let's go down a bit. 4 for $2. Well, here they put, well, I don't know how much it cost for me to get it, Rick, but it definitely was more like 1 for £1 or £2 probably, actually. So the import charge was probably a lot more. But there you go. I can't remember how much it was now, but it was at least £2 for one, I would have said. So quite expensive, but there you go. It was an imported product, so there we are. Okay. Right, let's have a see. Right, so we'll measure the top and the width, about 2.8, 2.9 almost, and at the bottom, about 3.4, 2.4, and then the height, about 2.1. Oh no, hang on, 2. It's a little bit more there. Yes, obviously it does indent a bit there. It's not quite as tall as that normally, but there is yeah. So there we go. Okay. Right. So let's have a look. You voted to Nepal. Eat coffee and tea. Well, to be honest with you, I was going to say hot chocolate and things, but then I thought, you know what, I've got to sort of draw the line somewhere, because I originally was just put tea, and I thought, well, I'll put coffee in just in case, and I thought, you know, there we go. So it's one of those. Yeah, so there we are. So what's winning at the moment then? Yeah, so it's still Biscuit. Yeah. Yeah, I quite like, you don't like tea, but do you have milk in your tea, Rick? Or do you have it just like, I don't know, like green tea or something like that? Okay, let's so it looks a bit dark at the moment, this one, but when I lift it up, it looks about right. Yeah, okay, let's give this a bit of a cut. Looks like a basket. It does a bit, doesn't it, actually? It does look a bit like a basket. Okay, let's give it a chop. Alright. So quite thick on the top. You can see some salted caramel there at the bottom as well. That's quite an interesting one. So you can clearly see the biscuits on the top. A bit brownie-like. Yeah. Brownie biscuit, a brownie basket. What's in it as well? What does it say? Salted caramel with a layer of chocolate almond truffle, hand finishing strawberry biscuit. So again, is it milk chocolate? I feel like it probably is. So again, it's got like an almond truffle in it, which is a bit of a shame. But we can clearly see quite a lot of. There you go. Look at that. Salted caramel at the bottom. Not quite as thick at the bottom either, but thick at the top this time. So it's got that quite thick chocolate layer on the top. Which I think is good. I think it's quite good overall. I'm not disappointed with the thickness of the chocolate in places, but clearly at the bottom it shows that they can do a thin chocolate bottom. Okay, yeah, it looks an interesting one. Okay, right, let's lift up. Okay, right. Let's have a see. I can't find my window configurator. There it is. Just lift it back it up a bit. Okay. I've opened 2 of them by accident. Alright. Okay. 3 of them. Alright, there we go. Right. Okay. Right, let's give this a taste. Yeah, quite excited about this one. Looks a bit interesting. No tea or coffee for me. Yeah, probably just as well. I mean, I started having a milkman deliver the milk. You know, I don't know if you get that concept in Canada or in Brazil, essentially when I was younger, I used to get a milkman delivering milk often, but now supermarkets just generally do it. But there's kind of been a backward trend to get milk delivered again. So I've basically started getting it again, and it made me realise just how much coffee I was having, because I was going through so much milk, because obviously I could see it was in pints. So I just thought I've got to stop, so I've really cut down on how much coffee I'm having, actually. So I've really cut down now. So I still have probably more than lots of people, but yeah. I don't know. I just kept having it. So not wasn't good for me really. I don't think. 2 years since I've tried it, but seem to remember. Yeah, the Camel ones are good, Andrew. The Camel ones are definitely good. They definitely stand out for sure. Yeah, the caramel in this set is good. Well, let's see what it's like for this one. Let's give it a go. I think the biscuits in this one do make a difference, actually. I was thinking they might be a bit superfluous, but they're enough to be present, you know. It's not bad, this one, actually. And the salted caramel is definitely... The salted caramel in these sets are really good. It's just quite thick. It's not overly salty, but salty enough. It's a nice tasting caramel. You get a good taste of dark chocolate in this one. I think the fact that the truffle centre is not it's there, but you can't really taste it, to be honest with you, which I think is possibly a good thing, because I think it doesn't detract from the rest of the flavours. Yeah. It's not bad, this one. I think I can't really taste any almond stuff. I think the sort of the truffle side of it is lost to the salted caramel and the dark chocolate. Whereas in the other one, I think, which one was it? The ginger biscuit one. I think the truffle there was a bit too prominent. This one, it's just more about the consistency. So the almond side, the fact it's called Almond Millionaire, there was a bit, you know, you might be disappointed. There's no real taste of almond in this at all, really. I say the salted caramel is so strong, the dark chocolate's so strong. It's almost like just having the salted caramel at the top, but with just a bit of like a sort of smooth centre as well. But you could get that from the salted caramel as well. So it's a bit of a funny one, this one. But I do like the crunch of the biscuit. I think that's a nice addition to it. So overall, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, you say no more. No spoilers, but the rhubarb custard flavour in the winter desserts is one of your favourites. Okay. I look forward to that. And you're eating QP. What are you having in QP? You're having something nice. Is it chocolate or is it normal stuff? Disgraceful QP, yes. Drinking coffee. It's a hard habit to lose. Yeah, decided to stop once for some years ago. Yeah. I just have it in the mornings now. I always could sleep fine, but I did have it in the evenings as well and stuff like this. But yeah. Not even your dinner. Some popcorn, I see, honestly. Not too bad though. Popcorn's relatively fine. Well, I believe it's relatively fine anyway, isn't it? You know, it's not unhealthy, I don't think. So maybe that's a good thing to have. Unless you're covering it in chocolate or something like that. But there we are. There we go. Yeah. Not bad then. Not too bad, that Almond Millionaire one. I think it's a bit those. I think the problem with it is it isn't really what you're it's not really almond-like at all. It's not bad though. I think it's not bad. Yeah. I feel like it's not quite one thing or another really. That's the only problem with it. It's got lots of ingredients with it, but I don't think it's greater than some of its parts. I think the almond truffle in it is a bit, you know, it's there for consistency, but the taste isn't really there. And then there's not really enough salted caramel really to sort of stand out for that, but it's there and it's nice. There's not really enough biscuit for it to stand out for that, but again, it's there and it's nice. And the dark chocolate's there, accompanying it all, and you can taste it. So I think it's probably a low 4, high 3.5. This one, I think it's probably a 3.5. It just doesn't really. There's nothing like a wow factor in it. Basically, nothing like a wow factor. Nothing like a wow factor. Lindor truffle sham. No, it's not really like it. No, it's more or less like a regular truffle. Really, it's not sickly sweet like that one. It's relatively normal. This one. Yeah, it's not, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on your view. You're not a coffee fan, Andrew? Yeah, I didn't used to be, but I like it with ice cream and stuff like that. I like the contrast in the heat. That's what I like. Yeah. Yeah. Well, getting hooked on it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I've ever been hooked on it. Maybe I was. But people say you get like headaches if you don't have it and stuff. I've never noticed it myself, and I have relatively stopped now, and I can go quite a lot of time without it. So I don't know. I don't know if that's. Yeah, but if you know, I don't think it can ever be a good thing to have it. You know, as far as I know, I don't think it's good for you. So, yeah. Although I do know athletes have it, so as in caffeine, but it's not coffee, you know, obviously. Yeah, it doesn't affect you. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't affect me either, Rick. I could sleep perfectly fine. I would have coffee before I went to bed as a sort of relaxing drink. I used to find I used to sleep fine. In fact, I sleep worse now that I don't have it anymore. Bizarrely, I don't know why that is. Yeah, so I don't know why that is, but yeah, that's the case. I've not, strange that really, but there we go. Right, so yes, the last one then, Amaretti. So I'm a bit worried about this one again because again it's a mundane chocolate flavour, isn't it? You get this in multiple selections. It's just a bit of a mundane one, but let's have a look. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt so far. Creamy chocolate brittle, generously filled and topped with delicious Amaretti biscuit pieces. Okay, so there we go. Right, so let's have a see. So again, it's got that sort of basket look to it. I think that Jow said. I think it was Jow or a Rick. Yeah, I think it was Jow, wasn't it? Yeah, so it's got a basket look and sort of like I like the way at the bottom it's got a bit of a design. Although you could argue it's giving you less as a result of it because it's slightly raised or whatever. But even so, it's a nice design. You can see the brittle on top. I don't like the fact that this brittle is solely on top of it, like the shortcake biscuit on the last one, because it means you just get less. I'd rather it just be filled on the inside with it and on top as well, maybe. So there we go. Spam fritters. Honestly, yeah. Well, I think Scotty might like this. I'm sure he said he likes spam fritters, but there we go. Yes, advent calendars. Yeah, I could do actually advent calendars. Yes, that might be an interesting one. I used to do them on Instagram as my story, the advent calendars. Maybe I could do them as like a little short or something. People do short. I don't know really. What do you think? Or do it before the lives? I don't know. What do you reckon for advent calendars? How could I practically do it? Because let's see, I could do it on the live itself, but of course, I could do it like as a little short or something every day. Yeah, I don't know really. What do you think? I don't know if I could. It'd be hard to sort of arrange a live for sort of like I don't know, unless I sort of dragged it out, of course, but presumably it would take a couple of minutes. So I don't know what to do there. Let me know what you think about that. Yeah, let me know what would be a good idea for advent calendar lives or whatever. Open it all in one go? Goodness me. Are you one of those people, QP? Is that what you're saying? I mean, well, it depends what the advent calendar is, I guess, because you can get ones that have got lots of different things in them, can't you? Is the gist of it. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those. So if it's one with lots of variety in it, then maybe it would be one to review all at once. Obviously, it would be like 24 chocolates or 25. So it could be quite big. You try to skip some games, you have more than that. I'll see what to do. I'll have a think about that. But it would be a good one to do like little short ones. I might do it. I know. Yeah, it might be good to do that at least, if nothing else. I'll think about that one. Yeah, I'll think about that. All in one go, though, honestly. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those where, yeah, I've always got so used to just doing them one day at a time. It kind of feels like it'd be, yeah, it doesn't. It feels wrong to do it more than one at once. But I guess obviously if you do miss a day, I have missed a day in the past, not on purpose, but I've missed it and then I've caught up, of course. But yeah, but it does mean you get more, as you say. So it's perhaps a good tactic that. Honestly, but when I was younger, QP, you didn't really have any. Believe it or not, there wasn't really any chocolate ones about. It was pictures. You just had pictures in it, and the chocolate ones that did come out were really cheap. Rubbish ones, even if they were branded like Milky Way or something. It wasn't Milky Ways in it. It was just like chocolate filled into like a mould. They were pretty poor, really. But before it was just flat. You can still get the pictures ones, but that was the general one. You just get a flat one with pictures, and I was perfectly happy with them when I was younger. I really liked them, and you just because you don't know it. And then I remember when the chocolate ones came out, they might have been out for a time, but I maybe wasn't aware of them. But I can't confirm that. But I remember I was very I really wanted them because of course as you're a kid you just want chocolate. But they were quite cheap compared to what you get now. They were just, as I say, generic chocolates, really, even if they were branded. Yeah, hard to believe that, isn't it, really? And as I say, being happy with just pictures. But you'd open up and it'd be a picture of like a present or a Christmas tree or something like that. And maybe if you're lucky, you'd get a double picture one on the 24th. Imagine that. Looking forward to that. An advent calendar. Joe, it's basically... it's a calendar, like it's a picture essentially, but it's got doors on it for every day of Advent essentially. So, well, basically from the 1st of December to the 24th. So on the 1st of December, you open one of the doors, it has a number on it, say 1, and you open it. And these days, a lot of them are chocolate ones, and you have like a chocolate on the inside. It's like a countdown to Christmas, basically. So yeah, obviously Christmas in the UK, it's the 25th. We celebrate it. I know, I think in Brazil, perhaps in South America, generally it's the 24th, isn't it? It's the special day. But so the last one's on the 24th. And then Christmas is the 25th, so it's basically a countdown. But nowadays, there used to be pictures back in when I was younger, really, but now it's chocolates. Yes, there we go. Yes. Some have less days than others. Advent calendars, some of them go to the New Year, don't they? I think is the gist of it. Is that what you mean, QP? I know some of them go to New Year. I assume they all go to 24. I've not seen one that goes less than 24, so hopefully that's okay. Hopefully that's the game. That would be a bit of a strange one, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think mainly, well, they always used to be just to go to 24. But I know some of them go to New Year. Some have 12 days. I haven't seen those actually, but yeah, I don't know. Well, there is the 12 days of Christmas. So it could be that. I mean, I don't know what the difference is, to be honest with you. But there is the 12 days of Christmas, isn't there? That's a thing. So maybe that's what it is. But I don't know what they are, or how they differ, or which 12 days they are. I think it's the 6 days before and the 6 days after or something, or maybe it's from the 25th. I don't really know. I'm not really sure. But there is the song, isn't there? The carol, the 12 days of Christmas. I think it's the 12 days of Christmas, yeah. Yeah, an interesting one. Yeah, do you know have anything like that in Brazil, Joe? Do you know anything like that? I know about Canada, Rick, as well. An interesting one. Well, yeah, there we go. So amaretti, yes. Let's have a look. Let's have a see. So yeah, a bit about this one. The top, the fact that it's just all limited to the top, I'm not too keen on. Amaretti biscuit pieces, creamy chocolate brittle, generously filled and topped. But it does imply that it's got crunch on the inside. Let's go down a bit. Yeah, what sort of things do you have in Brazil then for Christmas time? Anything interesting or anything different? You probably do, really. Must have, I imagine. As I know in Spanish-speaking South American countries, or at least some of them anyway, they have, it's slightly different. More about the Christmas, what we call Christmas Eve, in the UK. I forgot what it's called now. Santa. No, I don't know. I can't remember now. Yes, was that Santa Semana again? I can't remember now. Is that what's? Was that something else? We mentioned this before, didn't we, Joe? And I think that was something else, but I can't recall now. But I know it's got a different. I'm sure it's got a different. Yeah, Saint something anyway. But I could be wrong. I'm not sure. 1.9 centimeters then in the top, and then the width. Okay, about 2.8. About 2.3, 2.4 on the bottom. And the height, let's see, about 1.9, about 2 centimeters there. Okay. Q&A, yes, I don't know, actually. Yeah, you've mentioned this before. The short answer is maybe when I've got more viewers, essentially. I just don't think at the moment there's enough. I sort of answer questions generally anyway. I need to have more subscribers, I think, for it to be of an interest, to myself and to others, I think, because it's just one of those. I think it works with more people, basically. So I need to wait. So maybe, I don't know how many subscribers that will be, but maybe that'll be a so many thousand subscriber special, basically. All right, let's give this one a chop. Let's see. I'll just clean the knife. Actually, I don't think I cleaned it last time. Okay. Right, give it a go. Nice. There we go. That cut a lot better. So you can see how much force I had to apply before too, because they had such thick dark chocolate. This one slightly thick at the top. Now you can see there are brittle pieces in there. You'd say. I think you can slightly see the sort of bits in the truffle. Quite a thick sensor, but I'm not sure. I could be making it up, but I feel like there's bits in that truffle. Quite a thick chocolate, but it looks to be a milk chocolate top, doesn't it? It doesn't look to be a dark chocolate one. So again, does make you wonder, why is it not dark chocolate? Why is it milk chocolate? So yeah. And I guess I prefer it if, I guess it looks nice to have the amaretti biscuits on top, but I'd prefer it if it was just more throughout the whole thing. Let's just see the description again on this one. What does it say? Creamy chocolate brittle, generously filled and topped with delicious amaretti biscuit pieces. Okay, let's see. This looks your fave, QP, you say? Does look an interesting one, doesn't it? I think they are, yeah. I'd say it's got the truffle in. I mean, you're a big fan of truffles, QP. I'd say for me, I must say, having so many of these chocolate selections, the truffle is almost, I wouldn't say it's the bane of my life, but it's such a mundane filling, unfortunately. But obviously, I have to consider that I've had these quite a lot now, these selections. I guess I'm looking for very distinct flavours, and when you just have a truffle one, it's almost like they can't think of anything else, and you put a truffle in. But I do like truffles. I do like them. I guess that's the one problem with reviewing chocolate. When you have the same thing so often, it really gets, you really notice it. You know what I mean? And because things like, say, the Galaxy Truffle in celebrations. I used to love that, I really love that, and I worry nowadays if I had that again, would I just not enjoy it as much as I used to, because I've had it so many times. I know, because you see it so often, and you just associate it with, we can't think of anything else to put in it. Let's just put truffle in. Yeah, I don't know, you know what I mean. So it's a funny one, and I don't like being like that because it's not really a natural. Way to come at them, you know what I mean? Because I've got that way because I've just reviewed them quite a lot, and it's not typically what you'd be like. You wouldn't normally be having it all the time, or chocolates are usually meant to be quite special, so I'm a bit worried about that, really. But nonetheless, that's the way it is, I guess. Well, it's just when you've seen it. I've just done something stupid there. I just made it darker when I didn't want to. Well, it's more mundane, I guess, is the term. It's not really, but it's still nice. It's just when you're trying to rate something, you think, well, I've had it before, and it's been in 3 of the other chocolates in this selection, and it's been in every single chocolate selection I've had, and it always tastes the same, generally. So it's when that's the problem with it, really. So you just see it so often. So whereas like the sour cherry or the salted caramel, they were very distinct tastes. So to me they really stand out. You know what I mean? And that's the others. So it's not that the others are nice, and I still sort of say. It's like I try and say, really, the average chocolate is a 3 out of 5. An average chocolate tastes nice. So if I rate something a 3, it still tastes nice. It just doesn't taste anything more than you might get elsewhere, So it's still nice. It's just not anything, you'll just get the same experience from most other chocolates, and that's not a bad thing. So that's kind of, so when I rate something a 3 out of 5, it's not that it's boring. Well, it's not. Well, boring might be not the right word. It's not that it's not nice. It's just that it doesn't stand out particularly much. You know what I mean? So there we go. Yeah, so differences when it comes to Christmas. A lot of traditions come from Italy and Germany. Right, yes, I heard there's a big German community in Brazil. I know there's and I think Argentina as well. Yeah, I see. Okay, yes, yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, I see. I guess we have a bit of well, obviously here as well, we do have a bit of a Germanic influence as well, really. So there is that. But I know in Holland and maybe Germany have the 5th, I think it's the 4th or the 5th of December is their big day as well. So I don't know if it's German and Holland or if it's just Holland, but I do know that's a thing there as well. Yeah. All right, well, let's give this one a go. It's the last one in the set, this one, so let's hope it's a good one. Yeah, fingers crossed, QP, fingers crossed. Let's give it a taste. Not bad, actually. It does taste a bit different. It's definitely got amaretti taste, but it's quite subtle. Sort of almondy taste, and it comes across actually like we had the almond truffle before, which I think was in the which one was that in? It was in the Almond Millionaire, wasn't it? And that didn't. Yeah, it was in the last one actually. That didn't really come through whatsoever. But the amaretti in this one, you do get a slight almondy taste. I feel like the almond truffle should be in this one because obviously being amaretti, you expected an almond taste. You do get it, but it's very subtle. It's I don't know, it might be fine, but I just feel like the almond truffle should be in this one because I mean it is meant to be almond basically. I mean obviously the Almond Millionaire is meant to be almond because it's called it, but just call it a millionaire or something. Don't bother with the almond part. because you can't taste it. Put it in this one where it would actually work, where it's not conflicting with the flavours, it actually is working with them. So I feel like, you know, is it, yeah, because it's not almond truffle in this one, it's just, it doesn't even say what it is. Creamy chocolate brittle, generously filled on top with delicious amaretti biscuit pieces. It doesn't even tell you what it is, but I don't think it's an almond truffle because I can't taste almond on it unless it's so weak. It's just it just seems to be a regular truffle with very fine biscuity pieces, very fine biscuity pieces. You know the kind when you have them in these biscuit chocolate slashes. It's a reasonably nice truffle though. It tastes a bit. Maybe it has got a slight almondy taste actually. Not sure. It might have, but it's very subtle if it is. Yes, it tastes like cherry bakewells. It's not as strong as that QP. It's not as strong as it. Yeah, it's very. It's a lot weaker than that taste. It's a lot weaker. You can just about taste it, but it's a lot weaker than that. It should taste of cherry bakewells. You'd think anyway, because it's, you know, being what it is. But it's very weak. It's a really weak taste. To the point where I've just had a big chunk of the truffle as well to see if that had any taste in it, and it might slightly have an almondy taste, but it's very slight. You could almost imagine that it's actually been the flavours that it's somehow come through from the amaretti on the top, rather than it being infused in itself. So I think this one you might be slightly disappointed. I think they've got a big opportunity here to you know, pump it full of almond flavour, and they haven't really. And maybe they're trying to do it in a natural way. But I just feel like, you know, almond truffle, it's in the Almond Millionaire one, where it's a waste of time because you can't taste it because it's overpowered. Put it in this one, which it might be, because obviously I couldn't taste any of one anyway. So it could be in this one, and it's exactly the same. You can't taste it. Yeah, I think unfortunately this one, it's just one of those where it's another style over substance one. Really, it just doesn't quite taste as nice as it should do. It's not quite as flavourful as it should be. It's got a nice crunch in it, but I feel again it's got the almond brittle. It's got brittle inside the truffle, so it's like lots of crispy pieces. You know, if you imagine very fine crispy pieces. It's like that, but why has it not got the amaretti brittle in there? Why is that not in it? Just put that in the truffle and on the top, and then you've got the flavour regardless, you know. And it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like I was saying before with the Millionaire biscuits being on the top. Why are they not inside it as well? So it's not unpleasant or anything, but it's just, yeah, it's missed the mark basically. You know, you might still like it though, QP. I think it's still got that taste and it's still a bit different, but it's not. It's just not strong enough, and it's got silly decisions, like, as I say, just for style over substance, to put the amaretti on the top rather than all in it as well, or instead of. Yeah, which is very strange to me. Yeah, so I think it's a bit of a disappointment one. It's not bad though. As I say, is it? Yeah, I don't even know if it's above average. This one's probably. Now we've got last chocolate syndrome. We have to bear that in mind. But, you know, I do feel like this one's a bit too mundane, this one. The flavours are just not strong enough, and it's got consistency, but I wouldn't say the dark chocolate really comes through that much. It's quite thin, the dark chocolate as well on this one. It almost feels a bit like it's just not really much of anything. It's got a bit of biscuit to it, though. A bit of crunch, rather. It could be last chocolate syndrome, this one, where I've had so many now, you know. But even so, I feel like it is a bit more of a mundane one. I'm tempted to go for 2.5 out of 5, but I'm just a bit wary that I might be, you know, being a bit too harsh on it. But as I say, it doesn't really come across. When you've got like more almond taste inside a cherry bakewell, albeit obviously probably almond essence, I just feel like it's a bit, you know, yeah, missed opportunity really. I think I am going to say, yeah, it's tempting to say 2.5, but I think I'm going to bump. Oh dear, no, I'm going to go with my gut instinct, 2.5 out of 5. I just think it's a bit mundane, this one. I don't think it's really. It doesn't excel in anything. So I think it's almost a 3 out of 5. But I think I'm going to. Yeah, I feel like it's really a 2.5. I feel like I'm not being honest if I give it a 3. Yeah, so there we go. You can't wait for the marshmallow Maltesers. Yes, I'm quite excited for those. I'm quite excited. I don't think I'll be reviewing them this week. maybe next week. So in Stash Watch, if I show it in Stash Watch, that will mean I am going to review it. So that's the gist of how Stash Watch is working from now on, basically. Yeah, for the overall set then, this one, well, I gave the Boozy Truffle ones 4.5 out of 5, and I definitely think that was, I don't regret that for 1 second. This one, let's have a look at it. Let's just have a see. Let's just go through it all. Salted caramel, I really like that one. It sounds really mundane, but the salted caramel in it was really nice. It was thick, just the right amount of salted taste. Worked well with the dark chocolate. The Jaffa Cake wasn't a Jaffa Cake. It was, I'll cover my face maybe. Yeah, there we go. The Jaffa Cake wasn't a Jaffa Cake. It was, basically just orange, because there was no cake in it, But it was, the ganache you couldn't really taste, but it was all right. But it was nice, that one. But as I say, it was just a chocolate cream, quite a subtle one. But I think the subtlety probably worked well in its favour. The Janduja one, Janduja, how do you say it? Yeah, that was more of a normal one. That was more of an everyday one you'd get in any selection. Basically the coconut one was totally shouldn't be in this set because it's got milk, chocolate, and white chocolate in it. But it had a nice coconut taste in it. But it wasn't, it wasn't the main thing really. Although it was prominent, but it was I see all this sort of milk and white chocolate in there. It just clouded the issue really. The sour cherry one was very nice. I really like that one. I think that was really good. But I'd say just perhaps not one note, but there wasn't much more to it than basic cherry, but it was very zingy. The ginger biscuit one, again, that was problematic with the milk chocolate. But it was very gingery though. There was that. So it did have that, but I'd say just a bit too, the milk chocolate truffly, whatever it was in it, just didn't work with it really. The Almond Millionaire wasn't too bad, but it was just a bit, wasn't really much, it was not enough of everything, it was just, everything else didn't really lift each other up, basically. Some things are better than the sum of the parts, but this one, it wasn't really. And the Amaretti one as well, cream chocolate, that one, again, I think that missed the mark, that one. I think it was just a bit, it wasn't really, as you just saw, it wasn't really, it wasn't really what it should be, basically. It wasn't designed very well. The Amaretti piece should have been on the inside as well. It's a bit of a shame. So overall for the set, well, it's a difficult one, but basically it's the main problem with it, I would say, from the fact it's meant to be a dark chocolate set, is the fact it's got white and milk chocolate in it. I would say that's a definite no-no, really, for a dark chocolate selection, to me. That's... I realise they were very much in the minority, but but they were still there, and I don't think that belongs in the dark chocolate set. And I think that's. I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's poor, but I don't think it's very well thought out. That, and I think it can only be detrimental to the set. I don't think you can. Well, what's it called? Is it called Just Dark? It's called Just Dark. If something's called Just Dark, then why has it got milk chocolate in? Milk chocolate. And it's not just one. Where's the other one with it? Smooth milk chocolate. Milk chocolate. There's two of them with milk chocolate in, and one of them's got white chocolate in, which is the coconut one. So it's not just dark at all. So I can't. That's not good, really. I don't think, especially when you consider that. Not to say that it necessarily gives it a vegan stamp. But sometimes, dark chocolate can really sort of imply that it could be suitable for vegans. I don't think this is quite the same because it's got loads of other stuff in that could include milk. But I do think the fact it's got milk and white chocolate in is not a good sign. But overall they weren't too bad. I think they were I think there was more, I wouldn't say misses, but there was definitely not as strong. I think last week there was lots of strong chocolates, more than there was the misses, really. But I think in this one there was a bit more mundanity. It kind of reverted to type almost, with the typical box ticking chocolates, like the ones with like the almond truffles, the general truffles. Even the salted caramel you could argue was a general, although they did a good job in this one. But they had the ones like the Almond Millionaire as well, which is very typical. I've seen that before in chocolate selections. This one was £4.99 Jow. Basically, that's about $10 if you can convert that. Pretty much. I think it's pretty much a 2-to-1 for pound and dollar at the moment, US dollar. Basically. But it's cheaper in the UK at least. than the sets the set it's copying, which is a Hotel Chocolat set or sets, which generally cost $12.99 roughly, something like that, which is basically, you know, $28 or whatever. So it's over half the price, so it's good for that point of view, and it doesn't taste any worse, I would say. There's some slight hints at maybe a lesser quality, but not really enough, not that bad, and I don't think they're necessarily in a bad way either. You know, say the chocolate proportions and stuff, but yeah, so I think this set, it's definitely the dark chocolate is very good. I must say, when you can taste it, it's quite thick. It's about the right percentage, 55%. I like it, and it's distinct when it's there. There's only a couple where it's not distinct, one of which is the amaretti one, and maybe the coconut one. I think the rest of them are relative. Maybe one of us is not quite very distinct, but it's generally pretty distinct actually, and I think they've done a good job of it. But as I say, the fact it's got milk chocolate, white chocolate in, I think, is a real bad decision. I can't believe they've done that. Yeah, and I think there's just some mundane chocolates as well. It's definitely a bit more of a typical selection, more than it isn't one, if that makes sense. So I think for me, it's all right. As I say, it's a difficult one. It's between, if I could say 3.66 or whatever Rick used to say, 3.75, I might go for that, but I can't. I don't know if I can really say a 4 out of 5. I don't think I can really give it that high of an above average, because I think there are some quite average chocolates in here. There are some that really stand out, the sour cherry and the salted caramel, but that's really the only two. I think the rest of them, the ginger was nice because it had, as I say, proper bits of ginger in. The coconut one was nice because it had a good coconut flavour. But again, you know, the coconut one had milk and white chocolate in. I don't think that's right in the dark chocolate set that's called Just Dark especially. So yeah, I think I'm going to say 3.5 out of 5 for this one. It's still nice, as I say, average chocolate is 3 out of 5, you know, but it misses quite, I wouldn't say spectacularly, but when it does miss, it misses quite heavy, as I say, including white and milk chocolate in, some of them just being quite mundane chocolates. Yeah, it's more of a typical chocolate selection, basically, but it does have some good ones in it. You know, and then of course you got the fact that, which is, you know, it's got 13 chocolates in, but there's 8 different types, whatever it was. So 3 of them, you know, yeah, that's right actually. So 3 of them are missing. Well, 3 of them we only get 1 of. I think that's disappointing as well. One of which is the sour cherry, which is one of the best ones. So there's that as well, which is unfortunate. It's the same with the Hotel Chocolat ones. That has that problem as well. But even so, yeah. So you know, it's definitely not a bad selection, and it's definitely great because it's half the price of the Hotel Chocolat ones. But again, you know, as I say, but you know, it doesn't. I don't think it really excuses the issues that it's got really, especially the fact it's got milk and white chocolate in a just dark selection. I think that's kind of unforgivable, to be honest with you. You can't call something just dark and have milk and white chocolate in it. I mean, it's just, you know, that's ridiculous. Yeah, you know, but there we go. But even if it's just called dark selection, I would still say that's enough to say that it's a dark selection and doesn't have milk and white chocolate in. But there we are. There we go. Right, let's have a look at the poll then. Let's see what did we get in the end. Let's have a look. I think I'll end the poll. 7 votes. I think we possibly knew the answer before we started, but even so, it's an interesting one. I think I would have gone with cake here. I like biscuits and tea, but I think there's something a bit special about having a slice of cake with chocolate, especially, you know, depends on the cake, of course, but, you know. What goes best with a cup of tea or coffee? Yes, so biscuits, cooking US, 71%, yeah. Slice of cake, 14%. Chocolate, 14%. No one went for scone. I think that's probably about right. Scone, I think, for me, is probably... Yeah, it's not. You do have it, you know. When you have a sort of, what do they call it, high tea or whatever. You know, but I don't know. Yeah, it's more of a. It's not quite the same, is it? I agree there. I don't think I would have gone for scone either. As nice as they are, I don't think they really work particularly with a tea. They might go with tea, but they don't work with it, if that makes sense. Well, they don't. Not suited with it, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain, but yeah, you know what I mean. I think you could have one without the other, basically. Yeah, but biscuit, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I think, yeah, I don't dunk biscuits as much as I used to, though. Some biscuits do work well with tea. But, yeah, I think for me, I would have gone for the cake. Don't know why, it's just something nice about having, I think the experiences work well independently, but complement each other at the same time. I don't dip the cake in. I know some people do. I think in Italy, they dunk muffins and stuff like that in tea, or coffee even, not tea. in some places anyway. But yeah, so that's a bit extreme. I don't know if I'd give it a try though, but yeah. But there we go. Right, guys, well, hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, so there we are. Go for all of them with peanut butter. Yeah. Oh, above all, I thought you meant you'd have peanut butter with all of them. Right, I see you pick peanut butter. Yeah, well, I can believe that, Joe. I can believe that. Honestly, well, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I guess it's like sometimes in the UK we have like cheese nights and stuff where people have crackers and cheese and wine. But I guess with you, well, you probably have the cheese as well, actually. But you could just have the crackers with peanut butter. And why not? Why not? Oh, dear. Right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed all this. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Bit of an interesting one for sure. Yeah, as I say, more of a mundane chocolate selection. I think that's the problem, yeah, with a lot of chocolate selections. They do tick a lot of boxes, truffle one tick, caramel one tick, this, that, and the other, And you can see some of these look identical to other ones we've had in the Lily O'Brien's. The Almond Millionaire one looks exactly the same as ones we've seen in other ones. Some of them look exactly the same as other ones in other sets, but it's just an appearance thing. But some of them literally were kind of, just ticking boxes almost. But yeah, so it's a bit of a shame. A bit more of a mundane set, this one, but still nice. The dark chocolate was very good. I really like the dark chocolate, actually. I think, if you're a fan of dark chocolate, yeah, I thought it was a good dark chocolate, this one. No, thank you so much, Joe. It's really great to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, have a great day. And yeah, thanks for coming all the time. It's really appreciated. I know the time slot's a bit difficult for you because it's kind of, not really here, well, yeah, it's a bit like that here as well, actually, I guess, but especially in the week. So it's really appreciated. So thank you so much. But yeah, really appreciate it. So thank you. Yeah, thanks everyone else. Thanks QP. Thanks Sham. Yeah, thanks Andrew. And I don't think Alan was here today. Don't think he was. But yes, well, anyone else, Rick, of course, as well. Thank you so much. Anyone else who's watching who didn't chat, always great to chat to you. Well, to see you and that you come and support the channel. So thank you so much. And like the video if you haven't already, as Joe always says, really appreciated. Yeah, have a great day. Thanks so much again. And there's a 6-second delay, so I might be a bit slow replying or might miss your message for the live. So apologies for that, but should have picked it up and read it. So, all right, thanks, Joe. Take care. Have a great one. Thanks everyone else. Really great to see you all again. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. See ya. Bye.